Farmers today are facing rising costs, volatile markets, and extreme weather. The A Better Way to Farm podcast digs into strategies to help you take control of farm inputs and maximize profit so your farm can thrive for generations. Remember to take advantage of our free resources at abetterwaytofarm.com. Now, from America's Heartland, here's your host.
Welcome to today's episode. It's exciting to have you guys tune in. Rod here at A Better Way to Farm, where we improve yields and increase profits. And we're excited today. We have a friend on who's been on before, but you guys love him, and I know we love him. And I'm super excited to have Roger Wright from Right on the Markets with us. Roger, thank you for taking some time out of your schedule today.
You're quite welcome. Always glad to share information with farmers, Rod.
Well, we appreciate it. I want to do it right now, and then I'm going to do it at the end. If they want to contact you to get some more information from you, how do they do that?
They can go to rightonthemarket.com, and there's addresses and phone numbers and a lot of educational information right there. Or if they want to talk directly, get 937-605-1061. Beautiful.
And spell right as you're having Right on the Market. Is that, spell that for us, please?
WRIGHT, like Orville and Wilbur, okay? Right? And then on the market.
Beautiful.
Okay, com.
Yep. Hey, we appreciate it, man. Thank you. I know the guys want to reach out. Karen said, hey, you need to reach out to Roger. It's time to have him on again, and you were gracious enough to do it. I had a friend who called me today, and he said, hey, you're going to be proud of me. He said, I just dumped all my soybeans. And I was like, I hadn't checked the markets yet. This was earlier this morning. And he's like, yeah, I got 1102 for everything I had left, and I took it. And that really got me thinking about things. So, Roger, talk to us. What happened that we got beans back up over $11 today?
Well, we had, yesterday we had some good news about the 45Z. Not that it was finalized, but at least we're making progress on that. We just still don't have the formula yet, but American Soybean Association was happy. Renewable Standard Fuels people were happy. A dozen other outfits were happy. So that was a big part of it. And then today, Trump, in one of his famous spectacles, said he talked to China's President Xi, and that China's going to buy another 8 million metric tons of soybeans from us. That was the gasoline on the soybeans after the good news about the 45Z. So beans traded up over $11, and I think March closed at 10.92, up 26 cents. Nice day.
Absolutely, and who knows what it'll be by the time we get there. We could be looking at, I don't think so, but we could be looking at $12 beans. We could be looking at $10 beans. We know how this goes. But all in all, Roger, talk to us about what you're seeing. Earlier, last time we talked, you talked about using puts and saying, hey, if we can get $11 on November, which they're not on the board yet, correct? Am I correct on that?
No, they're on the board. November beans are on the board. In fact, they made a high in November of 11.39, and then went all the way back down to like 10.70, 10.60, I believe. They were only up 8 cents today. But, last time we talked, we were suggesting people consider doing an HTA on November beans at $11 to lock in a floor on their price. That would, on their beans, it would be more or less break even. And then if prices went higher, buy puts in a stair-step up method. And then when the soybean crop gets made this summer and bean prices come back down, those puts would increase in value, and they would automatically pick the top. So, and here again, March beans, as you said, traded over $11 today, and they were, I think, high in November was 11.72, as I recall, on November 19th. And does China do everything they say they will? Does Trump do everything he says he will? No. So don't start talking about $13 beans yet, folks. Okay, we got a long way to go. And besides that, if China supposedly has bought the 12 million that they said they would, if they buy another 8 million, okay, that's 20 million. But hey, folks, they normally buy 25 million a year from it. So this is not a grand slam by any stretch of the imagination. Frankly, I'm surprised beans were as strong as they were today.
if they get to 45 million, then we'll have something to be more excited about.
Yeah, sure will. Absolutely.
So my faith in the Chinese is minimal. Shall we say it that way?
Yeah, and likewise here. However, I think they are truly afraid of what Trump can do to them. So Trump's already shut off the Venezuelan oil, greatly curtailed the Iranian oil flowing to them and the Russian oil flowing to them. And their financial structure is, their economy is not all that good. They still got real estate debt. And now that the United States is gaining some control over the Panama Canal, China's got to kind of ask Trump, hey, can we get some beans out of Brazil? Can we get some oil out of Venezuela? Can we get, some Russian crude or whatever? And I mean, it's almost to the point, or Iran, and it's almost like, hey, Mr. Trump, can I take some candy out of the candy jar?
And that's kind of a unique situation compared to what we have been.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely unique. Karen wanted me to ask you, she said, talk to us about this last crop report that came out with the amazing amount of corn they found. Would you care to comment on that for a few seconds?
Yeah, I don't believe for 1 minute that corn yield was that high. I mean, it was higher than the highest estimate by a substantial margin. We've got seed corn companies that had seed corn plots all over the Corn Belt, and they uniformly said that the 2025 yields on the plots were less than they were in 2024. And Pro Farmer, I don't bet the farm on Pro Farmer, but for the last 5 years, Pro Farmer's estimate was always higher than the final USDA yields, except in the 6th year, 2025, Pro Farmer's yields was substantially less than the USDA. And the previous 5 years, Pro Farmer was more every year than the USDA. So there's two pretty good indications that the USDA was wrong. And then thirdly, we talked to an awful lot of farmers, and the vast majority of them are saying that 2025 was not as good as 2024. Granted, Minnesota, South Dakota, better, a lot better. But they said Iowa, 13.5 million acres this year. South Dakota, 5 million, 5.5 million. So, 20, 30 bushel more in South Dakota doesn't make up for 15 or 20 bushel less in Iowa, given the acres there. So I look for some adjustments down. And I truly think we got some, I'll probably get hushed up for this, but FBI will come and get me. But I think part of the deep state is trying to turn rural America against Donald Trump. I really do.
And working pretty diligently at it, apparently.
Yep.
Working pretty diligently. Well, Roger, let's talk about the crystal ball. You think we do have some potential possibly then for some up? Obviously, I don't want to see people hanging on to $11 beans thinking we're getting to 13. Talk to us about what you see as opportunities here going into the spring or early summer. Between now and June, what do you think they can do? What do you think they should do?
They need to be thinking more about risk management than trying to hit the top of the market, okay? You need to think about, if I sell my beans for less than $11, am I going to be farming in 2027? If I sell my corn for less than $4.50, am I going to be farming in 2027? I think you need to be looking at trying to get a price floor locked in with an HDA. Why? An HDA doesn't cost you any money up front. If you buy puts, that costs you money up front, and you're locking in a price lower than where the futures market is, unless you spend $1 a bushel for a put. So I'm thinking if your break even on beans is someplace around $11, you need to be doing an HDA at $11, and then hope that beans go to 15, so you can get that $12 put bought for $13 and the $14 put bought cheap. And then when beans are below $10 this fall, all those puts will add additional income to your HCA price. Same thing on beans or corn. I'm kind of thinking 475 on December corn might be certainly a place to consider doing an HTA, and then hope that the price goes up from there, and bring some opportunities to make money with puts there. So I'm thinking right now nothing less than 475 on the corn, nothing less than 11 on November beans, and get your puts in place. I'm not saying I think that's a top, because I don't. Okay, I don't, but it very well may be, and those prices will probably keep most people farming next year. And if December corn would get to, $5.25, $5.50, get a $5 put bought or a $4.80 put bought, and then when corn gets down to below $4, which $3.92 was the low on December 2025 corn, and $3.85 was the low on December 24 corn. And so if you've got a $4.80 put bought, and December corn this fall is down to $4, that put's worth 80 cents. If you pay 20 cents for it, you got 60 cents to add on to your 475 HTA. But do the selling in late April, May, or before the end of the third week in June. That's when seasonally the highs are in. And so if we're making the highest prices for the year in April, May, June, you need to do a lot of selling, folks, because once the market comes to the conclusion the crop's going to be made, which it begins to think that way on June 21st, looking at the weather and the crop conditions. Corn can drop 40 cents in 1 week just after, just because we get that deep into the growing season. And so wait till April, May, June, late April, get corn and beans sold if they're at a price you can live with. Get them sold no later than June 21st. Circle the calendar, close your eyes, sell the corn and beans no later than June 21st. But seasonally, corn is more likely to make a high in the middle of May, and beans more likely to make a high the second week in June. And then the third week in June is when it falls into the abyss.
Yes, sir. Well, Roger, you've been pretty specific with them. There's some advice there people can use as they wish. Talk to us about your weekly newsletter. What's the charge for that?
30 days free, no advertising, no phone calls twisting your arm to sign up. If that doesn't earn your business, then we don't deserve it. You got to read it, though, guys. If you sign up for it, you got to read it and think about it. And it's designed to provide the information you need to make an informed marketing decision. We'll tell you what we think you should do, but you're the one that needs to make those decisions. And then if you want to sign up for it after the trial subscription of 30 days, it's $60 a month or $500 a year. And you can pay it online, no advertisement in any way, shape, or form. So this is as advertising as we do right here, and we appreciate the opportunity to share this information with your clients, Rod. Thank you.
We appreciate you doing us a favor. We really value the relationship we have with you, and just want to say thanks. Before I wrap this up, do you have any closing comments on anything you'd like to say, Roger?
Don't expect, like you said, Rod, don't expect beans to go to $13 because Trump said China's going to buy another 8 million. It's going to be hard sledding. There is some dry weather in Argentina. I fully expect, by the end of the week, we're going to see beans certainly lower than where they are now, probably lower on, tomorrow. It's not a good sign that beans closed about 15 cents below their high for the day. It's great they closed up 26, but 15 cents below the high means somebody is skeptical about that as well. So be thinking about risk management, folks, risk management, and do your selling late April, May, and June. And really, that's solid information right there.
I appreciate it, Roger. I'm going to wrap this thing on up. Guys, thank you for tuning in to today. We always appreciate you guys listening to our podcast. If you'd like some more information on this, Roger, one more time, how's it they're going to reach out to you? Give us that web address and give us that phone number again.
Okay, Right on the Market, WRIGHT, onthemarket.com. Phone number is 937-605-1061. And by the way, we got a YouTube channel started up there about 2 weeks ago, and we've got at least one video on there that folks can go to the YouTube channel and say, now, I'm not an IT guy. I don't have Karen working for me like you do, Rod. But I think you can go to the YouTube and, I don't know, YouTube, but it's there, okay? And a lot of good information's on that video.
Guys, all of you, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Markets are, of course, a never-ending topic of discussion. Just as Roger said, guys, this year it's about managing the risk. Manage the risk, manage the risk. And we do that by locking in a profit. And then if we can buy ourselves some more upside, we probably ought to do that too. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We look forward to talking to you soon, and we really do hope you're having a better day.